Welcome to Adventure Cities, where we're exploring one of the oldest and most magical destinations in North America, Quebec City, Canada. Engage! Quebec City is nicknamed the Paris of North America, and walking its charming cobbled streets past elegant stores and exquisite market squares, it's easy to see why, particularly during the winter months, when this Canadian jewel magically metamorphosises into a three-dimensional fairy tale. Like all good fairy tales, there's a castle at the centre of the story, in this case Fairmont-le-Château Frontenac, which towers over the city's old town and hosts a famous high tea, which you can enjoy with historic figures in costume and character. Not only that, but you're in prime position for a spot of ice fishing afterwards, in nearby Bas-Saint-Louis. Luckily, I have a local lined up for that too, in the form of Chef François-Emmanuel Nicole from the city's award-winning restaurant, La Tanière. So the fish that we can catch today, how big will they be?
Maximum 2 pounds if we're lucky.
So we need quite a few to make a meal.
Yeah, exactly.
During winter, it's all about the simple pleasures. And for me, it's the ice drill. We weren't catching enough fish, so it made sense to drill more holes, right? It's logical. Whoa, he's a monster! He's a monster! Look at that! François' restaurant La Tanière is an elite 5-diamond establishment hidden in an old warehouse. What makes it special is that all of the ingredients come from within just a few miles of the city. The rule is that if it's fresh and within easy reach, then it can be cooked into something delicious, including the 3 brown trout I just pulled out of the frozen river.
That would be a nice garnish.
Yeah, magnificent. The food was absolutely out of this world. It was very hard to pick a favourite part of the experience. That tastes phenomenal. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was the drill. And I'll admit, I might have drilled a few too many holes. Ice canoeing is a big part of Quebec's history and culture and has been used as a means of crossing the St. Lawrence River since the early 1600s. As the years went by, what started as a way to get goods and people from one side of the city to the other evolved into a sport, and now it's a competitive event where teams race each other to get across the half-frozen river in the fastest time possible. It's always important to warm up properly before any form of exercise. I've just never done it with a 7-foot snowman before.
Coming to do some racing, right?
Yes, we're going to be doing some ice canoeing. Bonhomme Carnival is the official ambassador of wintertime here in Quebec City.
You should warm up a little bit before.
Good idea, it is cold, yeah. A much-loved icon who emerges from his secretive ice palace in time for the winter carnival every year. It's unclear what he does all summer. We hit the frigid St. Lawrence River with local operator Julien, a 3rd-generation ice canoeist. Now, ice canoeing is something that's unique to Quebec because of the way the St. Lawrence River works.
The ice floating on the river, the tides, like you know, we have high tides and low tides with the currents on it, so that's what makes it possible. Okay, so oars out.
Oars out. Teamwork is absolutely essential in this sport because not only do you have to get your oar strokes synchronized in the water, but you also have to master the transition to the ice crossing phase, or scootering, which needs to be perfectly timed. As soon as the captain orders it, you have to spin around and throw one leg out of the boat to propel it across the ice until you reach the next patch of open water. Ice canoeing is lots of fun, but it's challenging too, particularly the scootering with one leg in the boat and one leg out. But as we dig ever deeper and look for that extra ounce of energy, it helps that there's a big supporter on the shoreline cheering us on. In team sports, it's important to celebrate successes together, so there's a lot of back-patting and high fives at the end. Although, maybe that's more about keeping warm. At the heart of this city's appeal is its ancient walled centre, Old Québec. with its winding alleyways, welcoming cafes, and colourful courtyards. Split into upper and lower towns on the banks of the stately St. Lawrence River, there are plenty of ways to explore its intriguing streets, but one of the smartest and fastest during the snowy winter months is fat biking.
Biking really makes you discover a city in a totally different way. It brings you out of the normal boundaries of tourism, which makes you discover the real local culture.
And one of those discoveries is La Bouche, a traditional Quebecois restaurant where the only thing bigger and warmer than the welcome is the poutine.
Whoa! Oh, that is a monster.
God. I've never seen this.
That poutine was called le cochon, which means pig.
Cheers.
There was enough food on that tray for 6 people.
There's a certain romance, a certain magic to Quebec City that doesn't really exist anywhere else in North America. How would you describe it?
I think it's totally about the fact that we have the historic side of Old Québec, and then you can be in the nature, you can be shopping, you can be on the water.
The other place you can be is in rural Charlevoix, Quebec City's pristine back garden. Here, about an hour's drive from the city, you'll find the pretty village of Baie-Saint-Paul, a hub for local artists and writers. Charlevoix is also home to one of the quirkiest experiences in Quebec, heli picnicking. To check it out, I chopper to 3,000 feet with local cheesemaker Madeleine. The views and the food together are a delectable double act, and cheesy or not, there's definitely something magical about lunch on a mountaintop.
A few delicacies from the region of Charlevoix. Rather you have le mignon, you have le ciel. Yes. So basically we have a 360 views of the whole region of Charlevoix.
Sadly, I don't have time to bask in the beauty for very long. I have to prepare for the race of my life in the next valley against an Olympic athlete. Le Massif is beloved by day trippers from Quebec City, particularly for its 5-mile sledging track. I challenged local Olympian Dominic Maltais to a race.
Once you're an Olympian and you win medal, it feels like everybody wants to compete with you after that. Very nice view you have, all the way down.
Yeah, that sounds lovely, but I'm here to race.
Okay, so let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, yeah.
Ready for sure?
So, 3.
I knew he's a cheater.
The faster we go, the more likely it is to crash, and both of us get a face full of snow a fair few times.
I just crashed because John crashed.
Dominic has longer limbs than me, which give her better steering power, but I have a weight advantage, which means that when we get on a nice long straight, I'm always going to go faster than her, even if she has no intention of following the Olympic spirit of fair play.
At the end of the race, I was so far ahead. I was overconfident, and I saw a sign saying slow down. So I did slow down, obviously, but she saw the sign, went full speed, and she took the win right on the line. I mean, it was just incredibly annoying.
Seconds. You took it at the last second, I don't believe it.
Tired legs need a good rest, and where better to do that on the way back to Quebec City than in the biggest and most luxurious ice palace on the planet, Hotel de Glace.
It's like a snow fortress. It's got to be the biggest igloo in the world.
It is. So 500 tons of ice, 30,000 tons of snow.
Wow.
We have small details and we have huge sculpture. It's simply impressive and magical.
For me, what is so magical about Quebec is the fact that it has so much romance.
Well, Quebec is actually the little Europe of North America. Nightlife is good, cultural life is really magical, and you have all the natural playground.
You can snowboard, ski, snowshoe, hiking, biking, make a really fun trip for sure.
Quebec City, the old capital of New France, is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful and romantic cities in modern-day North America. During winter, the entire region, including Charlevoix, buzzes with activities and sparkles with its own special kind of magic.